So we're going to talk about growing and changing. That process of growth and the process of change is how do we realize? What's the moment in the realization where you're like, oh my gosh, I've changed? What will you feel usually in that moment?
No, I think I'll start off with this. If you're not growing and changing, you're not living. But right now, growing and changing feels like an event that happens to you. They say, and there's a study done, in an average life of 65 or something, people change and grow only 5 times. You're supposed to do that every month. So we know it is not something that happens slowly. Growing and changing is what life should be. You shouldn't be the person you were last year. You cannot remain the person you are today next year. But now the question is, there is some mechanism that is preventing us from growing and changing. And it's a pseudo idea of faithfulness. Like people say, I want to remain me. I always ask, what the hell are you talking about? You see, COVID happened. The whole world is now adapting to a change. Just one incident, one virus. So, the real question is, why growing and change is so rare? A few pointers. We are holding on to an idea of ourselves. We make up an idea. We become faithful to that idea. By that, we fight anything that will challenge that idea. And the only way to remain that idea is you don't embrace growth and change. By right, in a moment's notice, you must grow. Like there's a saying, this is from Astavakra Gita. Astavakra Gita. King Janaka will read a scripture that's saying, in the moment that I take to mount a horse, that you can change. He never believed it. The moment it takes for you to mount a horse, climb on a horse, you can change. So he kept debating until so many people he put in prison, until Astavakra comes and teaches him. And what he teaches him is change and growth is perpetual. Now, what is a culture? Either a platform in which I can grow and change, or a mechanism that prevents me from changing. Right? Like, you are Indian, I'm Indian. Are we Indian like our fathers are? Or my grandfather was? No, we are not. We are a new Indian, I think. You are more newer than me. You are westernized, but it's Indian too. You are growing. So, your question you ask is, when do I know the moment I have changed and grown, right? When the moment you are through. With every information we change. When I started, we had computers were just starting. We used to have DOS. We used to key in all the, I remember using the internet, dial-up. Use the phone, prang, tung, tung, tang. I don't know, we had, how many, 50 kilobytes. And we were so excited. Life has never been the same again. Right now, you pick up a phone, you dial food, and food comes to your house. Unheard of my time. My question is, what is keeping you the same? You see, what people want to hear out there, which is probably is not what we are doing, is they want information that will help them to remain the same, will support them not changing.
Like if I'm even in asking that question, I'm like, okay, do you feel uncomfortable? Do you feel this? Do you feel that? Okay, if I'm not feeling that, I'm not changing. I'm the same.
And you want to remain the same because you have a fixated idea. I've seen 60-year-old people behaving as though they are 20.
Yeah.
And as though they are victorious, not changing. So, life is a process of changing and growing. But now the question, if I'm changing and growing all the time, where is my stability? Where is my stability?
Yeah.
Because if you are this thing today, you are that thing tomorrow, you are another thing another day, then where is my stability? So people don't want to change because they want to find a stability. They want the consistency. Now, the consistency that they hold on to is in false ideas. You see, I can be testament to this. We know you when you were born. The day I was talking to your mother, I said, she's still the same girl, isn't she? From the time when we saw you born till now. That means your essence doesn't change. Everything else changed, right? You're the same spirited girl, a happy girl. You are Apshi. And your sister is your sister. Aishi is Aishi. Same, curious, inquisitive. She wants to do things beyond. So only when you know the essence of you, you can embrace change, because the essence of you never changes. Slowly, yeah. Because we don't know our essence, we hold on to an idea, and not changing that idea, we feel like we are remaining the same. False sense of stability. If you know the essence of you, you can embrace change. Because whatever that changes is not the essence of you. It's just what needs changing. You follow? Like you were, let's say you're not a vegetarian, you become a vegetarian. It's just an adaptation. It's not a change. You are still that same person who was not a vegetarian, who's a vegetarian now. I'm the same person who used to eat like 5 meals a day, who now eat 1 meal a day. I'm the same person. But I can embrace this change because the essence of me is untouched. So I can only embrace change if I know the essence of me, right?
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, do we just hold on to things that we think are the essence of us but are not? I'm always think I'm a very extroverted person and I love being around people. As I'm getting older, I'm just like, oh gosh, I don't think I have that capacity anymore.
No, your essence is you're not an extroverted person, you're an introverted person who has an incredible extroverted ability. So that's a misunderstanding of you now that you're understanding rightly. So you have to find out at the core, who are you? Like I always say, I'm a boy from a fishing village, who grew up ordinary. And that's the essence of me, in the sense that I am not cunning. I am not this complicated human being. I'm a simple guy. And that's the essence of me. No matter how much PhD I do, no matter how much I study, I am still the simple person. When I say simple, I'm talking about I have nothing to hide, or I have no hidden motive. I'm just obvious. That's the essence of me. The moment I change that, I will be a bad politician. I was talking to Eric's father the other day. Sir, he used to be a governor in
Sweden.
Governor in Sweden. Beautiful man. I said, sir, I'm not a politician. I will not make it because I'm obvious. I don't know how I'm not very good politically, I suppose. So what is your essence? It's something you must discover. That which never changed. I used to have a question I asked myself in my younger days. What was I before I was born? And what will I be after I die? There has to be an anchor point, isn't it? And that anchor point is non-negotiable. The anchor point is me that I don't have a choice about. Right?
And I think a lot of people don't struggle to know what that is. And they're anchoring maybe in the wrong things.
Well done. Very well said. Like I put myself on the line. I'm a simple guy. I'm at my master's. I wanted to learn meditation. I went and learn. I am very obvious. I want to do this. I'm doing this. It's not, I don't have 300 underground working. I'm simple in nature and I like it. You know what you're getting from me. What you see is what you get. There's nothing hidden here. Because I'll forget what I've said today. So I know that's me. So I will never become very heady. I'm just this. Is there an advantage to be this? Yes. Is there a disadvantage? Yes. I accept both. So in some sense, I'm asking you, who are you? And I suspect, and Paul supports me in his research, that you are what you are when you're born. The moment you're born, that's your essence. Now, are you holding the essence rightly, or are you creating something else? Paul uses a terminology as false ego and real ego. I will use the terminology real self, false self. The real self is what you are. Like if you take Anba, for instance, I've known him for 20 over years. What you see is what you get. There's nothing much more going on inside there. He's just what you see. There's nothing there. Not as an insulting way, He is what he says. He does what he does. He doesn't want much. He's happy to be him. He's happy to live his reality. That's him. You make him the king of the universe, he will be the same person. As long as you don't condemn it, as long as you don't deny it, as long as you are adapted to it, then you can embrace change.
But I think what's difficult, right, is that like we are perpetually in that process of self-discovery. We're trying to like, with you. I think when I moved back to Malaysia after studying in New York, I was like, I don't really see myself living in another city. And suddenly that urge grew inside of me. It incited when I first left the country after the pandemic, and then it became so big I couldn't avoid it anymore. But it was something I thought was me. I wanted to be home. I wanted to live close to you guys. Suddenly that changed. And I feel like accepting that change, it took a few months for me to be able to even accept that. And it was difficult.
No, I'll correct it a little bit. No, when you came here, you wanted to be you. And why you are changing, this place is not helping you to be you. You haven't changed. You saw the circumstance here is not helping you to be you. You are liberal. You want a different movement, right? So you were trying not to be you and failing, and now you're saying, no. I can't do this. Now I want to go somewhere. You are saying you are changing. I'm saying you are not changing. I'm saying you are changing the surrounding that is preventing you from being you.
Is that? But I thought I'm changing.
That's the young thinking.
Yeah. But that's like what I think is very difficult for people to wrap their heads around and to move through like sanely. If somebody's feeling that discomfort of the circumstance isn't working, they can start acting insanely.
Yeah.
And
No, it's like your mother. And I've known her for 33 years. She was the same girl I met then, now. She has no interest. Not in a bad way. She has no interest in becoming this, becoming that. Leave me alone. I just want to be me. I don't even know that she wants to be a wife. She just wants to be Geeta. And that's her. And if a situation doesn't allow her to be that, she's going to change the situation. So you are changing the situation, not changing you. My argument is very simple. You, in essence, will remain you. You will have to change your surrounding in order for you to remain you. You follow?
yeah, I think that what it feels like is I've changed. Now I have to go somewhere to change for the new surrounding. But it's that the surrounding is not
Helping you being you.
me stay as I am.
That's it. And I know you want to be around your mother and your father. That I know. But unfortunately, the atmosphere you are in is not supporting you being you, which is a very self-sovereign person. I have been your dad more, how do I say? I have been Apshi's dad more than Apshi has been Dhyan Vimal's daughter. It's very much you take up from your mother. You have been you, not you have become what. Like somebody becoming somebody's daughter is one thing.
And somebody becoming themselves is another thing.
And the daughter having a father is something else. And I prefer the other way. I'm okay by being Apshara's father. Being Dhyan Vimal's daughter might change you.
Yeah.
So you rather be you, me being your father, and you being the anchor.
Yeah, but you also allow that to be. Some people don't have that, are not lucky in that way.
No, they should be. They should be. They should be allowed. Because, in essence, you want to be you. You cannot be anything other than you. And only you can embrace the change, because the change that you embrace is not you, is the change that holds you true to you. Do you follow?
Yeah.
So I'm saying your essence cannot be changed, and it doesn't have to be changed. Your essence doesn't have to be changed. Your essence is that which you had it as a child. So dharma.
So it's pure.
Pure. But to know it is very difficult. It's trial and error. It's very hard to know. Like I knew very young, I cannot be ruled. Not that I will not follow rules, but if anybody uses rule to rule me,
But I think like for us, right, you knew by the time you were 17, 18, I need to come to me. I cannot be with my family. I need to get out of this small
Yeah.
town. And you came to KL and it was a very brave decision. It almost probably felt like you had no choice.
Yep.
But nonetheless, it was brave because you could have just stayed in that
Yep.
town
Yep.
and sort of had that dream at the back of your head. You
Right.
sort of know you could be
Right.
more. And even for me, I have a very comfortable life here. If I go live in another city, my life is not going to be as comfortable as it is here. And I'm brave enough to do it. A lot of people
no,
have
because not being you is far greater discomfort.
but some people will live in that discomfort.
Because they are deluded, they are not supported. If you support somebody, they will choose being them. And people don't know how to create that support.
Yeah. So what do they do if they are not brave enough or they are unsupported?
First, find support. First, go look for rowers. Don't look for critic. Look for people who cheer you on. I have a movement lately, Like when I give a talk, I say, I need to be cheered. Please, I've never said this for 30 years. Nowadays, when I go somewhere to speak, I need to be cheered. I need to be cheered. I need to be supported. You know why I'm doing that? Not that I need the support. I could use the support. I'm telling people, why don't you ask that for yourself? Why are we surrounding ourselves with critics and cynics? Why aren't we?
I think we've been taught that that's, in a sense, love.
Like criticizing you, they said is love. It's not love. So I'm saying, one of the movement, I say, go find people who will cheer you on. Go find your cheerleaders. Go find the believer. Don't worry about the doubter. Like, see, I know when you go away, whatever you go through, I know you're fighting to be you. I know you'll be sane. I know you will live a life without betraying yourself. You know why? You are supported. If you go after 2 years, you say you want to come back, I'll say, come. We'll figure it out. But what is the essence of you? Can I say it's a confession? Confess what you are. Like if you take Anba, I'll always say he's a monk. He doesn't want much. He wants to sit, be with himself. He has all his antique collections and
A couple of years.
hidden girlfriends, I suppose. By the way, he's single. You can get in touch with him.
We'll share a picture, guys. DM us.
But that's him. But if he deludes himself to be somebody else, he's going to commit suicide. You understand? See, like this. The moment you know your essence, you can embrace change. The moment you don't know your essence, you will fight change. And whenever you fight change, you will become extinct. If life doesn't evolve, it becomes extinct, Even in our short period of 80 years or 90 years of our life, if you don't evolve, you become extinct. That is why older people become old. You know why they become old? Because they refuse to change. And why they can't change is they haven't found the essence of them. What is the essence? And the essence could be a very simple thing,
If you were to say about yourself, right, what would you say is in part an essence of you?
I think I'm a bit unstoppable, I'm one of those relentless guy. And I'm also a personal guy. Things are personal. Like family.
You're like tenacious,
Very tenacious. I'm like, I'll do what I have to do.
a bit emotional.
No. No. But I think I'm personal. I take things into my heart. That's me. Either it's personal, like people when they're listening to this is very strange for me because I'm talking to an audience I don't know. So this is something new for me. But even to this new audience, I'm talking personally with you. They get to hear me responding to you. I don't know whether I'm talking to the world, even though a lot of the world will listen to this. So that I know about me. It's either personal or I keep a distance. It's either to my heart. That's why I build a house. This place is called DV Home. It's my home, where a lot of the people I care about, I love, come and hang out with me and learn with me. All my students are personal. It's not a group. So personal is one of my essence, very personal, tenacious, and I really don't care. I also have that about me. I know you cannot make me care about things I don't care. You want to call it detach, it's very spiritual terminology. I really don't care. I can get up and walk away. These are some of my essence.
And in a sense, there's also a contradiction within that, right? You
Yeah.
are personal, but you are also detached.
Right. Because I can be detached, that's when I can be personal. If everybody is my friend, I have no friend.
No, but I think because people are afraid to admit the contradictions within themselves, they struggle to find their essence.
Right.
Like, yes, I'm someone who really wants a relationship, but I also may be somebody who could be a little bit uncompromising at times.
No, but this way I said, if I love everybody, then I don't love the few. If everybody is my friend, I don't have a friend. Only someone like me who's detached can have something personal. If not, how? You understand? If I love everybody, then... So even though it's contradiction, it's very complimenting for me. I found my complementary in it.
Yeah.
But there is nothing more. The biggest thing that is, I think my personal is, there's nothing much here. I'm just a guy. There's nothing here. There's nothing complicated.
The reason I ask you is because I think that if I was listening to this, to hear you even define it would help me also figure
Right.
out how I define it for myself.
You see, this I want the world to know, even though I've probably written 100 over books and done so many work. Just a simple guy, just a village guy, a simple guy who likes the simple part of life. No matter how sophisticated or rich I become, that will never change. I still go and hang out with the workers and have a meal with them. I'm happy. Right? In essence, my essence is I'm happy. So I'll never seek happiness outside. What is yours? But I'm telling you, many times we don't know how to romanticize our personal, our essence. You don't give a damn. You don't give a damn. Don't tell me. You say I go, I leave. You really are not attached to. You are not that attached. That is why you have that many personal friends, because outside you are not attached.
Yeah, I'm not attached, but I'm very, very, very emotional though.
No, you are emotional because it's personal.
Yeah.
So you only have personal and the next is universal. You don't have the collective. So you will make a bad politician. No, that's your essence.
Yeah.
I've known some people who are politicians and I admire them. I'm like, wow, I don't have it. So I think how you look upon, the word we use is essence, right? It's very important. How do you define you? And define you romantically, rightly, not in a condemning way. That's your essence, cannot be changed. Cannot be changed. Like my father, his essence is love. He just loves. I don't know why. He loves everybody. He loves me, loves the neighbor, loves the society. He loves everybody. That's him. He happened to be my father. Both aspects. Oh my God, he doesn't only love me, he loves the neighbor too. I can take it that way. Or I can say, oh my God, I'm loved by a man who loves all too. So your essence, you define how you look at it. Don't give another the definition.
How do you think this idea of in order to find out, to grow and to change, we have to learn where our essence is, right? And as a child, it's easy to see that, right? They are figuring out who they are, they're getting taller, they're getting smarter, they're getting more inquisitive. The growth is obvious, and maybe they slowly come to define who they are in that time. But when you're older, when you're in your...
No, that is when you find, when you stop physically growing, when you stop mentally in regards to growing, in regards to language and society, when that stops, that's when you figure out who you are. And every time you figure out who you are, it's a bit tragic,
Like when you're a teenager?
It's a bit tragic. You're like, oh my God, I'm this, I'm not that. See, like I always jokingly say, I'm not the romantic guy. I am not the romantic guy. I don't have a romantic bone. I don't have. And that's tragic. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have it. And I'm also a guy who will do what has to be done. I can make the difficult decision. I'm not the, I don't know, the softy, I suppose. And I sometimes think, maybe I'm harsh. So there is, when you start discovering you, it's always a bit tragic in the beginning because you see everything that you lose because not having certain quality. But you must also discover by having this quality, all the things you gain too.
But I think that's where a lot of people feel a lot of pain, and they get it. That's when things like they want to use substances. They look at lots of different.
No, what's wrong with the pain? The idea it shouldn't be painful is wrong. You don't go to the gym to avoid pain. You go to the gym to embrace pain. I think we live in this painkiller society. What is wrong with pain? Pain is good. You condemning pain, why pain became bad. I do a squat, 100-kilo squat, 150-kilo squat. I can't walk straight. But how come I can romanticize the pain? You do 100 punches onto a punching bag. You're going to have sore shoulder. How come you hold the camera on, but for hours you're taking the picture? You're carrying the equipment. How come you go home and you look at the footage and you go like, yeah, I did this. You have a false definition of pain, and everybody created this world or promised you a world without pain. They are the one who made it painful. If not, it's not pain, it's growth. You are trying to create a society where there is no pain. I'm saying by wanting to create a society without pain, you are creating pain. If not, it is just growth. Like I walked 5 kilometers to school, back and forth. Then I cycle 5 kilometers. Now you all will go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. We had 5 kilometers to have fun. You think we are walking quietly, coming, we are creating ruckus. We are disturbing each other, playing, plucking mangoes and eating. And now you drive the child home because you don't want the child to walk. Then you take her to the park and say, play. You're mad. No, what is the definition? Sometimes they say they had to walk 5 kilometers for water. Yeah. Beats going to the gym. You are defining pain. Remember, let me put my point across. There are people who want to feel sorry for you, and by that they control you by making what is not painful. I know some fellas, they are the moral king. They are looking after everybody moral. I say, you are the most immoral person because you're judging. No, what is your definition of pain? Studying, working, going through some problems? You have been fed an opioid. Opioid. Why is it nowadays fasting is good? Are you kidding me? They told us eat in time, eat regularly. Now they are saying fasting is the best thing. Now they are jumping into, somebody is persuading me to jump into an ice bath. Minus don't know what to sit inside because it's good for me. I say, are you kidding me? How come suddenly? How come? So they have messed with this idea of pain, How come walking 5 kilometers is bad, but walking 5 kilometers on a treadmill is good?
Okay, I think that maybe we're looking at this in this perspective. It's a bit harder to grasp. But maybe we can think about outgrowing people, and how that kind of pain, it's very hard to reconcile with. I've loved this friend for 15 years of my life or 20 years of my life. Now I suddenly feel that you are no longer helping me be me, and you helped me for so long discover me. Now this is so painful to let you go. I with gratitude, you have to do so, but that kind of pain.
No, but you misunderstand, If you had a friend from childhood and after some time you have to part, somewhere you parted earlier. It just took you so long to confess. You both took another direction. Like I don't think any friends lasted, maybe a few. I have friends who are like 30-year-old friends, students who are 30 years old. But before that, what happened to all my friends before? No, we parted ways long time ago. They went material, I went somewhere else. They went somewhere, I went somewhere else. They went to the society, I went into psychology. But the actual departure didn't happen on that day. It happened 5 years later.
But the pain is regardless, right?
No, let's go into that pain. What is that pain? What is that pain? The pain is you supposed to change you to accommodate another direction someone else have taken.
No, I think the pain is that I'm sad we're not going in the same direction.
No, you can't do that.
Why?
No, you cannot ask somebody to go in your direction.
No, it's not about asking them. It's not about changing the situation. I'm changing, you're changing, we're becoming who we are.
But I know.
And there was that part, and I'm just disappointed that we didn't part in the same way.
maybe I should approach, maybe sometime our heart breaks, and
Yeah.
that's okay. The heart breaks also shows that there's a depth to the meeting, which means you will go deeper with somebody else too. And I think, we part ways doesn't mean we will never keep in touch and be friends too.
But you know that special something that
That's
was
over.
there it's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, that's growing up. That's what happens.
It's not about like the inability to accept it. I think it's just about we want to avoid that.
No,
The
but I
inability.
think it's kind of sweet that you're feeling that pain. You know why? It is almost like going to a funeral. You're supposed to feel that pain.
It's like when a romantic relationship
Yeah.
ends, you really hoped it would work, and both people are in acceptance.
Not that I know anything about that, but I've seen enough people. It is like a funeral,
Yeah.
which means it really meant something to you, and now you're saying goodbye. And I think that pain must be embraced. It's a necessity. It's a healing pain. And that says more about you, your essence, which means your essence is you are for real.
But then I guess where it goes wrong is when you try to make me walk on the same path you're walking on, or
Yeah.
I try to make you walk on my path, or we both decide we're going to stifle ourselves to keep this going.
Right. Which means both of you have to betray who you are to be with each other. Then the decision is easy.
It seems easy.
No, the decision is easy. Surviving it might not be.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? The decision is easy. Somebody's dead. The decision is bury that person. But surviving burying them is a whole nother psychological process. But knowing you'll be fine.
Hmm.
But you'll go through that pain. But again, what is the topic today?
Growth and change.
Without it, there is no life. And in order to grow and change, you must know your essence. What is your essence? That which is the quality you can never change. That which you see in you as a child and you will see in you when you're dying. Like when my father was dying, I saw the same eye. Peaceful man, loving man, tough guy. I've seen him being tough and all that, but the same man who lived his entire life, maybe that's what the soul is, It's you. You cannot be this, that, and the other. You can only discover you. And I think because it feels so helpless, so we pretend we can create. So change and growth, maybe you have to attend a few funerals. Maybe you have to go through some heartbreak. And if avoid that, you won't change, you won't grow. Right? I think part of life is not only saying hello, it's also saying goodbye. I can relate with that. Many things I have to say, well, that's over. I spent 15 years doing that. Well, that's over. I did this 7 years and well, that's over. But I think if you don't do that, you betray you and betray everybody that you are faithful to. So my argument is don't let one make you betray you. And if you betray you, you betray everyone that has been faithful to you. So the decision is easy. The process might not be.
And when you betray yourself, if somebody here has, how do you come back to you?
Admit that you have betrayed you. And by that admission, you unbetray you. Like saying I'm wrong is the first step to not being wrong, Let's say you've betrayed you. We went to the episode on shame, Maybe you have to betray you to know you will never betray you. But at all times, you are not violating love, You're not violating rightness. That's why I said, beyond the personal, one must be faithful to rightness. I think this is when you become quiet, you sit, you let the storm pass. It's all good. Good for you, good for the other. Sometimes I have tell people, I'm no good for you. I have become your alibi to remain wrong. I got to go. I've told so many people, I said, I cannot teach you. I'm not your teacher because this has gone wrong. I don't want it to go wrong, but I can wish for all kinds of things. I wish I was 6'4" and I can slam dunk. I can wish anything I want. My fact is my fact. Right? So what do you want to say? But I think you're making a mistake here. You're thinking for the other. In this, you have to think for yourself only. Because you can only take responsibility for you, not for the other. And then suddenly you hit this space, all is good. All is good. And in this, bow that the other has the right as much as you have. ABC. I am me, you are you. I'm doing what is right. I hope you do what is right. Do not take more responsibility than you can. You see, a lot of time what happens, people throw their responsibility onto you. No. You must know you are not the maker of their life. They are the maker of your life. You're just a friend. As how they are just a friend and you are the maker of your life. Now hold each person to their responsibility. Namaste. That's how Shakira will say.
Yeah.
And I think if you remember that, you heal faster. Like you are feeling as, oh my God, if I do this, what the person will do. No. The person will respond right for them as how you respond. Like if you learn martial art, it's beautiful. We both bow before we fight. You look after you, I look after me. We meet with great friendship sometime, with great respect, but we spar. At the end, whoever wins, we hug. But you are looking after you, I'm looking after me. It's not an act of selfish. It is an act of rightness, isn't it? You are owning the relationship more than the other person owning the relationship.
I think conceptually, the idea of growth and change is more so the idea of coming back to your essence rather than becoming a different person.
Very good. Very good. So you are quietly, secretly asking me for your advices in this podcast, isn't it?
It wasn't a secret.
Yeah. And I've been used
How do you think I come up with all these topics?
on camera for her to get advice for herself, Nanba. And she's getting me on camera because she can blackmail me 10 years from now.
How do you think I come up with the topics?
I get it. I get it.
Any final piece of advice for everybody listening?
Okay, I say this, in a broader, everybody is amazing if you only give yourself a chance to look at you with the right view. Everybody is amazing. Your essence are amazing. But what happened? Very small group of people ever come to the essence, which means they confront a part of them that they cannot help it. There's one of the things I will recommend, the PAT, Paul's PAT, the Positive Leader PAT, because it gives you some essence of you, is non-negotiable. And once you see the essence of you, you learn to be right by that. And then you can embrace change. Then you can embrace growth. Then no matter what happens, you won't change. Do you know why a lot of people don't want to be rich? And they sabotage it because they believe when they become rich, they will change. Do you know why a lot of people won't allow many things for them? Why I won't allow chocolate in my house? I will change. But if I know no matter how much chocolate is there, I won't change, I will allow it. So the moment you know the essence of you, you will embrace change and growth. It's one of the most beautiful things in life. So maybe go and explore what is the essence of you. And the number one rule for the essence of you can't choose. It's choiceless. Who you are is choiceless. The moment you bow to who you are, the greater the chance for you to embrace growth, change, and your life can be as beautiful as it can be. It's like this. I can be as rich, as famous, as anything I can, because I know it will not change the essence of me being a simple boy from a fishing village. As long as I assure me that, I can embrace any change. If it messes that up, I'm no more there, then everything fails. Think on this. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.